the source of light, intentionally kept dark, just to convey this message. Temple, every other place is well lit, but the sanctum sanctorum is intentionally kept dark. So the very structure of a temple, do you know? What does a temple symbolize? Your reaction, I had to put my hand on. What does a temple symbolize? Sorry, ma? Yeah? We are God. Sorry? No, I mean the structure of a temple. I'm not talking the sanctum sanctorum. What does the temple symbolize? No. See that a typical Orthodox temple has 3 layers. One is the outer layer which is exposed to the sky. And then there are 2 inner layers, the 2 inner enclosures. So if you are actually wanting to have the darshan, you have to first cross the outer layer which is exposed to the sky, then the inner layer, the second layer, then the third layer, and beyond the third layer is the sanctum sanctorum where the deity is kept dark. So the 3 layers symbolizes the 3 personalities. The gross body is exposed to the world, which is the outer layer. Then there is an inner layer called the subtle body, the manas and the buddhi. That is the subtle body. And then comes the inner layer, the causal body, which is the vasanas. So these may be terms you may not be familiar, but when time comes I shall bring it to your attention. So please, so when you cross, so they say, where is God? God is beyond the gross, subtle, causal bodies. It is beyond the body, mind and intellect. Where is it? Right within you. It is everywhere, but it is right, it is located right within us. But it is intentionally kept dark. The sanctum sanctorum is kept dark with the only purpose to convey that you do not know the God within you. It is there. And the only time the bhaktas will have the darshan of the Lord is when the arati is being given. So the camphor is lit. And then when the camphor is lit, you have the darshan. And when the camphor is lit, when the arati is happening, you know what is the chant that is chanted? Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoya magnihi tameva bhanta manubhati sarvam. It says, the sun can't illumine, direct light sun. The moon can't illumine, na tatra surya, na chandra, na tarakam. Nema vidyuto bhanti kutoya magnihi. How can this little camphor lit you, man? You see, while the darshan is being provided when the camphor is being burned, you are saying the sun can't illumine you, the moon can't illumine you, the stars can't illumine you. How can this camphor illumine you? So meaningful. But nobody has time. Nobody knows what is going on. It is just going on. A lot needs to be done to remove this veil of ignorance. The moment you realize that, my God, you just wake up. So all these masters say the self is the very source of happiness. Kingdom of heaven is within you, said Christ. You know, what is the nature of the happiness in the world? The nature of the happiness in the world is twofold. Two types. Please take a note. It is highlighted by Valmiki in Ramayana. Outstanding. Outstanding. Please allow me to mention that aspect of it. You know, Sita was reveling in joy and bliss and happiness. It didn't matter whether she was in the Ayodhya palace, in the comforts and luxuries of a palace life, or she chose to be in the company of Rama in the Vanam. Isn't it? She said, Rama, wherever you are, I am. She didn't say, okay, you have been summoned to spend 13 years or 12 years in the jungle. You spend, I'll wait for you when I come back. She didn't say that. She went along with Rama. And it didn't matter to her. Comfort or discomfort didn't matter to her. Materiality or no materiality didn't mean anything to her. But then the entire story twists. The turning point is, what is the turning point? Yeah, sonadu. Next, punishment da. Punishment da next. She has been hearing me for 20 years. Benefit kudunga mavalta. You're right. In fact, if you get it wrong, I'll be angry. In spite of listening to me for 20 years, nothing has changed. So, the golden deer. The entire twist happened when she saw the golden deer. And she was adamant she wanted the golden deer, wasn't she? Now, why did Valmiki put it as a golden deer? So the joy and happiness you get from the world out there has the qualities or attributes of a golden deer. Gold because it draws your attention. Anything glittering you're drawn to. Isn't it? It tempts you. Mouth also opens. Breath also stops. After that, what happens, I don't know. Mouth opens, breath. My God! You're blown away. The mere sight of it. So golden is very attractive, tempting, and the deer is fleeting. You can never catch a deer. So these are the two traits of the happiness you derive from the external world. They are attractive, they are temporary. They fleet. They disappear as soon as they appear in your life. Valmiki suggested by just planting a golden deer there. All philosophy irukku adula. So Sita was happy as long as her thoughts were on Rama. Rama symbolizes the Atman, the truth. Sita is an individual ego, Jiva. But the moment she entertained something other than Rama, she was in trouble. Something, the only time in the entire Ramayana, Sita thinks other than Rama. Tell me one context where she does the same mistake. Never. 47,000 verses I'm talking about. Not one verse, two verse. An epic which runs into 47,000 verses, and Rama or Sita are the hero, heroine of the play. I'm talking in your language. Movie paakringa, the hero, heroine. They are the role model. The whole story revolves around them. Not a moment. And the only moment she thinks other than Rama, she got in trouble. And instantly she realizes, oh, what a mistake I've made. Where was she? Okay, where was she taken? Lanka. And in Lanka she was offered all that she could have asked for. Ravana said, you can be my princess. You can have all. And Ravana is symbolized as, he epitomizes wealth, epitomizes indulgence. He is someone who had everything under the sun. He had everything. He was a very powerful person. So he had everything with him. So he offered everything to Sita. And obviously, as you know the story goes, she says no to it. So where was she in Lanka? Ashoka Vanam. What does Ashoka mean? Shoka means sorrow. Ashoka means no sorrow. When she was with Rama, she was reveling in bliss. She entertained, other than Rama, she got into trouble. Quickly she realized, she started thinking of Rama. She was in a state of no sorrow. And no sooner Hanuman came, help came, there was a reunion, again she got back that bliss. What's the message for all of us? It's not the story, but what's the message? The message is, as long as you're extroverted in life, you will not be happy. As long as your thoughts are in the outside world, you will not be happy. Remember this. If you can go back with this one phrase, and if that were to reverberate in your mind, you have done justice to this hour you have spent here. As long as your thought is extroverted, you will not be happy. Don't take a word, don't edit it. Apdiye note padunga, sir. You want to find peace and happiness, you got to turn your attention inward. A spiritual journey is an introverted journey. We only talk about yourself, myself. Who am I? What am I? This is a sad reality. I can go on for the rest of the evening just on this concept of happiness. But you will have to change that belief system. You know, the great Arthur Schopenhauer, the German philosopher Schopenhauer, said it is difficult to find happiness in oneself. It is difficult, no doubt. It is difficult to find happiness in oneself. It is impossible to find it anywhere else. So the teaching is universal, sir. On one hand, I'm quoting Ramayana, another hand, I'm quoting Schopenhauer. It doesn't matter where you get from, the message is the same. I repeat, it is difficult to find happiness in oneself. It is impossible to find it anywhere else. So if you are not convinced with it, continue your journey. Continue your search of finding happiness. Where? Where are you searching for happiness? Then you must be reveling in peace and bliss, no? Sir, they will remember you, they will forget all what I said. But he is remembering what you said. He didn't repeat what I said. Okay? So, which was the last verse we did last week? We left with the story of surrender, the cow and the tiger. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Okay, let's get on to the 11th verse. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ashocchanan Vashochastvam Prajnavadamscha bhashase Gatasuna gatasumscha Nanushocanti panditaha. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ashocchanan Vashochastvam Prajnavadamscha bhashase Gatasuna gatasumscha nanushocanti panditaha. The blessed Lord said, Lord Krishna spoke, you have been grieving for those that should not be grieved, yet you speak words of wisdom. On one side you are grieving, yet you are speaking words of wisdom. The wise neither grieve for the living nor for the dead. Gatasuna agatasumsha nanushocanti panditaha. The wise neither grieve for the living nor for the dead. And yet you speak words of wisdom. I don't understand. Are you wise? Or are you a fool? I don't know. Krishna is confused. If you are wise, you will not grieve, no? Because the wise neither grieve for the living nor for the dead, and yet you speak words of wisdom. See, Arjuna has been talking, which we have not actually addressed in this classroom, but if you read what Arjuna speaks, he actually is speaking high philosophy. But he doesn't understand anything of it. He doesn't. If he understands and if it makes sense to him, he will not be grieving, isn't it? So Krishna starts with grief. Why is he starting with grief? As you know, this is the starting of Krishna's sermon. Why is he starting with grief? True, but he is grieving. So he talks about grief. Why is it? You remember, a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not wrong, what did I say? Gita is an objective representation of a subjective phenomenon. Everything that is meant there actually represents something that's happening inside us, within us. So when he is talking about Arjuna grieving, what does it mean? He's talking about humanity is consumed by grief. We spent an whole hour talking about it. There is no happiness in the world today out there. We have mortgaged our happiness to something else out there. So when somebody speaks that words of wisdom, you must know the difference between knowledge and wisdom. The quintessential difference. What is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Arjuna is quite knowledgeable. So he speaks those wise words, and yet he is not wise, isn't it? So what is the difference between knowing it, which is knowledge, and wisdom? Knowledge is knowing it, theoretical knowledge. Wisdom is to be able to practice it, to be able to apply it. Wisdom, knowledge is information you have gathered from external sources. You go through tuition, what do you get? What do you get, sir? Red t-shirt. No, I don't know, I have to identify you. You go to tuition, you get knowledge. The more tuition you go, more knowledge. The more you go, more confusion. In comes after that. The more tuition you go, the more knowledge you get. But then, You may have all the tuition, but you don't have that intuition. That intuition, that ability, that capacity to see beyond those words. In fact, philosophy is in the spirit of the words, never in the words. The words convey the spirit, but it is not in the words. You have to apply actually to extract that spirit. You have to apply this knowledge. In fact, as they say, unless and until you walk the talk, you cannot claim to be wise enough. In fact, these masters are very strict. They are very particular. They say, if you claim to know it, you must live it. I repeat, if you claim to know it, you must live it. If you don't live it, you don't know it. Hold on. I know what Gita is saying. But you know, after that, but is there. Is everybody else can see what is that but after that? Now where is the wisdom? Where do you gather wisdom from? That's the reason when I was naming the foundation, I said we must put wisdom foundation. Because what my objective is not to give you information. You already have all that at the tip of your finger. You tap, you have all the information that you want. But has that changed your life? Why? In fact, what the information or the knowledge is doing is actually creating a greater disparity between what you know and what you live. The bridge is actually getting longer and longer and longer, which you can't traverse actually. It's too far. My God, there's such a disparity between what I talk and what I live. But don't blame the knowledge. In fact, there is no accent on this nowhere. That's the reason, in spite of all that you have, you're still where you are. So the question is, where? So what actually you should be interested in? Correct, but what should you be interested in? Red t-shirt. Sir, please tell me your name, sir. I can't continue red t-shirt again and again. Haan, Manish ji, boliye. What is it that you came here for? Again the same mistake. So when you're sending your children, where do you send? Don't say tuition, intuition. Not information, you want transformation. You don't want sight, you want insight. You don't want to see through the fleshy eyes, you want the third eye, the Jnana Chakshu. You know, the third eye of Lord Shiva symbolizes that Jnana Chakshu. You have that eye of wisdom, you have that perception which your fleshy golayas, they call, your fleshy organ can't give you. So you have that depth of vision. For that reason you practice upasana, upasana, upa-asana. Upa means near, asana means you sit. So upasana is practice where you sit near to the teacher. This distance is enough. Don't come any nearer. Correct distance. Don't have funny ideas. Let's maintain a protocol or line or tape. No coming upasana anymore. Upa-asana is only mentally practice. But when you practice it literally, why do you sit? In fact, we have a story of a Swami. He was having a private interview with a lady because she heard him and she wanted some counseling, and she took some time out. She came to his home and they were in a private room because she wanted the privacy to open up, and they were sitting at a fair distance. Both were seated on a chair. She said, Swamiji, I can't sit on the chair and talk to you, I'll sit down. I said, whatever you feel comfortable. She sat down. During the conversation, she started coming closer. Closer. I can't come any closer, but imagine. She kept coming closer and closer, and then the Swami got little uncomfortable. What's going on? I'm trying to practice Upasana, Swamiji. No, don't practice that Upasana. That Upasana you do is not meant for that. What is meant is something else. You're literally practicing it. Upasana is to gain that perception of a master. See, the perception you have and the perception I have is very different of this very auditorium, isn't it? Come and sit here, you will know all what I'm seeing. What you see is not what I see. So you gain that, to gain that perception you have to practice Upasana. So what is the purpose? You are trying to get close to the Shastras, to gain their perception. And all the knowledge you have, if you can't put it to practice, knowledge is actually a burden. In fact, knowledge is a curse. I will go to that extent and say, Gita is a curse if you don't know how to live Gita. You have done the mistake of knowing the Gita. The biggest mistake you have done is you come to this class. Now what are you expected? To live up to the standards. What the Gita advocates, isn't it? Having heard what you have to do, now you are obligated to live up to that standard. If you did not attend, ignorance is bliss. Blissfully unaware what life is. I will carry on living my life. So glad I don't know. The moment you know, you have to do so many things. You see, you buy a Fitbit. That fellow will track everything that you do. You only slept 4 hours, 30 minutes. You have not walked this much. You have not, your breathing is not in order. That is not in order. Something all will give you. Now, having worn a Fitbit, that fellow is telling you, you have not walked number of steps. Talavali. Headache. Put this watch aside. I want to be where I am. Is it a blessing or a curse? Curse. How can you say that? So, Krishna is saying, why are you grieving, man? I know it is 6:46. Promptly her phone will ring 6:45. Some phone is ringing, I don't know. How do I identify your ringtone, her ringtone, this fellow's ringtone? But 6:45, I get a reminder, shut up, keep quiet. Enough, you've spoken. Don't put me in a spot of bother. Something I know I'm speaking in the Madri, don't expose me, please. So Krishna is saying the wise neither grieve for the living nor for the dead. No, just give you a point to ponder. I come back again this verse next week and I'll address. See, a family has a child, and that child has added a certain amount of joy into our lives. For some unfortunate incident, suppose a child dies. Some tragedy happens, the child dies. What has a child done? Let's say your life had 10 units of happiness before the child. Having child come into your life, that happiness has been enhanced. You have 25 units of joy. And when a child dies, if the child has actually enhanced your joy, why are you not able to live to that joy which the child has created for you? But what happens? If your child has enriched your life, you must live a better life, isn't it? But for some reason the child has gone. But then what happens to your happiness? It sinks to minus. If you are wise, you will not allow the world to affect you. So, what you are actually grieving is not the loss of the child. It is no doubt the loss of your child. But what you are actually grieving is the whole HOLE, not WHOLE. You should be actually WHOLE. You must be whole, Paripurna as they say. But there is a polo. What is advertisement of polo? So you get more than Gita in the classroom. You get polo with a hole also. That hole has come in your life. So the loss of that child, you're not grieving for the loss of your child. You are grieving for the vacuum that child has created in your lives. Selfish. Sorry to say, it is selfish. Is only attachment. There is no pure love in the world today. Whatever love you call is only, I love you because you are doing these things to me. The moment other person doesn't do that to you, do you still love that person? Or is there a dip in your emotion for that person? Isn't there a dip? Why is there a dip? So do you love the partner, or you love the partner because she is doing certain things for you? Manish bhai, bhai bol sakte na? So actually you don't love the partner. I don't mean you, huh? The wife is looking at me staring. Sorry, I didn't mean you. You don't love the person. You love yourself more dearly than the person. You're loving. That's what Shankara is saying in the Bhajagovindam, as I told. You go to God to seek something from me, but nobody seeks me. Parame Brahmani kopine saktaha. Nobody is coming to seek me. You're only seeking something from me. You're not a devotee, man. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna. Artho jignya surartharti jnani ja bharatarshava. 4 types of devotees who come to me. One comes to seek material wealth. I have applied for that contract. Oh Lord, don't put both eyes. One eye on that is enough. One eye on that, I'll get the contract. I tell you, it's a very big contract. I'll be done for life. You know, all my problems will be solved. Adu oru contract kodunga, please. So you go to God with a material favor. Second type of people go to a Lord for a physical return. I have seen many people do that. I knew a lady, her husband's leg was amputated, or to be amputated, some surgery, they had to amputate. So she actually offered a silver leg in the hundi in Tirupati. She had to fly all the way from overseas. She went to Tirupati. She offered that silver leg with genuine prayer, hoping that her husband's leg doesn't get amputated. So why are you going for prayer? For asking for some physical benefit. So you ask for artharthi, and majority of people go to God for some peace, some solace. I feel so peaceful. So you go for solace. Whose solace? In fact, God needs solace from us. Poor chap. Can you imagine the number of demands and requests coming his way? Can you manage, ma? One thought for God, can you think, please? Scores of people, all religions are approaching the same God, maybe different names, same God is one. Representatives, that's avalda. You can call it whatever name you give it, doesn't matter. God is one. Imagine the entire humanity of 8 billion people going to Lord and asking, isn't there a gate crash? How can He also process powerfully? He is grieving, God is grieving. You look at my state, nobody is concerned of me. So you either want something physical, material, physical, emotional or intellectual. Nobody is interested in me. So the loss of your child has created an empty space. It's actually crippled you. Your life is broken because... Why has it broken? Because you have not found that happiness within yourself. If you are happy, you should be, you will be happy with or without. But since you're so dependent, mortgaged, that is gone, you're gone. So remember, the wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead. It is said there are only two types of people. One who have gone, we are all waiting to go. Am I wrong? So if I'm wrong, please correct me. All have gone, we are in the waiting list. Some people RAC, some people waiting list. Please. Nobody has gone. The next verse. That is. In fact, yes. When it gone means there is end of life now, isn't it? That is going to go on. But yet it is an end now. There is no ultimatum. That is continuing. So, gone, yet to go. Wise don't grieve for the dead or those who are yet to die. Now what that means is, when you look at life, this is inevitable. Accept it. When it happens, if you are prepared for life, you will not be affected by it. In fact, the moment the day child is born, what is the only thing that is certain? The only thing that is certain at birth is death. And tell me one person who is prepared to accept that. I am not saying you expect it. Expectation is wrong. Yet there are people who expect some people to die. Doesn't die only that fellow? How many times he'll come out of ICU? That is okay. You can continue your prayer. I also will wish one day your prayer will be granted. That is okay. Because you believe you'll be happy without that person. Why not? Carry on. What I'm saying? What was I saying? I know you people interested in stories. You will forget what I'm saying. What was I saying? Accepting things as they are. So there is no better preparation to life than this study of Gita or Vedanta. No better preparation. As Schopenhauer says, it is the solace of my life, it will be the solace of my death. Actually, he endorses Aristotle. It is the solace of my death, my life. There is no greater study than the Upanishads, he says. So this knowledge is nothing but a little premium you pay to ensure your peace of mind. That's all. You have insured everything, but have you insured your own peace of mind? You have to insure. You want to insure your peace of mind, you got to pay a little premium. Right? We'll come back next week. Please note that I am, could you switch off the camera? Not required. Just for your information.